What is up, guys? We are live, finally. We're live an hour later than we were supposed to. It's my fault. Blame it on me. I had 3 shows that ran concurrently and was not prepared. But here we are. My friend, my guest, Herms. What's going on, buddy? How you doing tonight?
I am doing well. Oh, my Lord. I'm very, very excited for this. Thank you for having me on, my dude. We've been talking about doing this for a while. And,
Definitely
dude, it's finally here. It's finally upon us in Herms Terms crossover with the show.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it's great because we're right before the draft. We get to talk about all this cool draft stuff, but we also have, a fun show planned out for you guys. It's not just, all talking about mocks and everything. It's Herms is here. So we got to make it fun. We got to spice it up a little bit. So, we're going to jump right into it since we have a super packed show. And I am going to share my screen because we are going to rank our favorite snacks and then compare them to our rookie wide receivers that we like. So here we go. Did I do that right? No, I did not.
Oh, wow. It was like screenception right there for a second. That was pretty cool, though.
I like the screenception thing. So, how it just reflects endlessly off each other. So, but first, we have our snacks. And we're not going to go too deep into it. We're just going to grab like a surface level of snacks. So we have, M&Ms, we have Ritz, we have Lay's, we have white cheddar popcorn, we have Cheez-Its, which are the 101 of snacks. We're going for the gold here. So what are your favorite snacks? Let's hear it. What are your top 3 favorite snacks?
Oh, gosh. When it comes to snacks, I got to say, I don't know that I see it on the screen there, but I'm a big fan of Fritos, my dude. Fritos.
I do see Fritos.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And I will agree with you. Fritos are in the S tier.
Yeah, because, they're one of those snacks where it's just, it seems like, oh, they're kind of bland, whatever. But it's like, bro, dude, a good bag of Fritos, that shit's good. That's where it's at. Honestly, yeah. I don't care what anybody says, especially because it's a snack that goes really well with other stuff. You know what I mean? You get a bowl of chili, packet full of Fritos, something like that. You know what I mean? You can crumble it up, crumble them up and sprinkle them on top of like a potato soup or something. You know what I mean? There's a lot you could do with Fritos. I'm just saying they're versatile. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I like Fritos because they're not plain, but they're not too specific of anything, and they also have a very good honey barbecue. The twists, those things are fire. But let's go with the rest of your list. What else you got? Fritos, and what are 2 others?
Oh gosh, okay, Pringles, but specifically the pizza Pringles.
Okay,
I mean,
right.
But
we'll put them up there in solidarity. We'll put them up there in solidarity. We got 100%. The basic ones, and I'm a big Pringle guy too. I like the barbecue Pringles. I'm gonna go with any type of barbecue anything chip for me, because I'm just such a massive chip guy. I love the snack. But the barbecue on anything, Lay's, chips, it's really all over the place for me. Barbecue pizza, barbecue chicken pizza. I mean, all that stuff's so good.
It really is, though. It really is. And I got to say, as far as chips go, I'm a salt and vinegar guy.
Okay.
But my acid reflux is starting to kind of, not take too kindly to it. But, at the same time, I still enjoy them whenever I can. But, yeah, dude, a good barbecue chip, especially oh, man. There's a certain kind that I want to, Utz makes a really, really good one that, it's a specific thing. It's like a kettle cooked. Dude, those are just, oh, my Lord. Those are fantastic. If I had to live off of one barbecue chip, it would probably be that one.
There's a company, and they're from, I want to say they're from the Philly area, but I'm not sure. They're somewhere in that Northeast area. It's called Herms, H-E-R-S. They are the shit.
Herms salt and vinegar is my 101 of chips, dude. Herms, oh my Lord, fantastic.
Herms are good because they make them both with the wavy type, and they also make them with the flat, the flat solid chip. And I obviously have to go with Cheez-Its as one of my favorites. Cheez-Its are elite, and no matter what John Luke Garofalo says, Cheez-Its are elite. I will not stand for the slander any longer. I told him today that I would be done with the slander if he would, now that we've kind of put that thought out there into the universe a bunch, Cheez-Its are elite. We no longer need to say it. The right people heard it.
I had 2 snack-sized bags today.
Did you? I also saw that Mike Golick Jr. also quote tweeted JL's
Yeah, dude.
And he had a bunch of other, like blue check marks that quote tweeted his tweet and said they were all going like, "This is not the right take. This is not the fight you want to have today." And Cheez-Its are great, and yes, people do need that many Cheez-Its. I wish I could pull it up. There was like it was like 40 types of Cheez-Its.
JL's my dude, but he picked the wrong battle. He picked the wrong battle.
that was the wrong battle. It was one thing when it was just me standing on my sword for them, and Linda as well, the Dalians. She also came to the defense of the Cheez-Its. But we had the heavyweights step in the other day, and we, as a Cheez-Its loving nation, are thankful.
100%,
moving right along, I gotta go with white cheddar popcorn. Doesn't really matter the brand; they're usually good for me. The Sweetheart brand or whatever brand that is, that's the basic one. That's always good. White cheddar popcorn is so much better than regular popcorn. It is the 101 of popcorn in front of kettle corn, but still very good.
I gotta say, shout out the Giant Eagle brand of cheddar popcorn. That's probably my favorite. But white cheddar, always a classic, always very reliable. It's a solid snack. Especially like for people like watching like calories and whatnot. Like popcorn. It's pretty healthy too. So dude, popcorn you can never go wrong. But especially with the white cheddar, I'm here for it.
And I just want to put one more up there. I'm gonna put my my Lay's, my barbecue Lay's up there. Like I said, big barbecue guy, always going to go for that. There's nothing like a nice barbecue chip. I will always stick by that. And then I want to put Cheetos up there as an honorable mention because we all love ourselves some Cheetos. And while they are very, very messy, they're so good.
I really love the Cheetos Puffs. Those are. Oh man, dude, that's my stuff. But yeah,
the Cheetos Puffs are good. The Cheetos Puffs are good because they're not as big. You can kind of grab them by like the fingertips and then just pop them in, and be done with it. And you kind of avoid the mess as much. So
you can be careful with those.
Yeah. What about Funyuns? You a Funyuns guy?
That's very mood dependent. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's one of those snacks where, like, if asked, I'll be like, yeah, sure. But, if you're like, hey, you want a bag right now? I got to be feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of snacks that I see on this list where I'm just like, yeah, you could talk me into it. But, like, if I'm not here for it right now, then, I don't know what to tell you. And I think that kind of falls in that category for me. I feel similarly about goldfish. You know what I mean?
Okay. I can go for that.
It's like, it's like, like I can get down with it, but if you catch me at the wrong time, then like I'll have to pass. It's not really an indictment on those snacks themselves, but more so just like it's part of the palate that's not always percolating, not always active. If it I don't know what the terms are for this, but like that's kind of where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Like shout out Funyuns, shout out Goldfish, perfectly good, but like if I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the mood.
All right, well, let's do one more. What is your 101 of drunk snacks? What is the snack when you come home, you're buzzed, you want to rummage in the fridge or the pantry for something before you go to bed? What is that one snack for you?
Oh my god, dude. I really, really, really like the there's like the buffalo and blue cheese pretzel combos.
Ooh, combos are good.
Combos come in clutch, you know what I mean? Because like you still get that burst, but then you get the saltiness that kind of reminds you that you're alive. I don't know. I'm here for it. It's like a little like it's a 3-alarm wake up. You're like, oh shit, okay, oh yep, still human. All right, here we go. Like, yeah, man, I'm here for that. If
I
not,
feel
I'll
that.
usually just find leftover pizza. But
You know what? There's nothing wrong with a good cold leftover pizza. I will stand by that. That is one of the best foods. But mine is always, and it's kind of surprising, but I like a nice pretzel. Just box of small pretzels. Like these Snyder's here. I can go for those. I can go for something easy like that. Not too much flavor, and it's plain enough that you're not worried about. It's not healthy, but it's not overly terrible for you, and you're not going to wake up in the morning feeling like a bloated whale over it.
yeah, dude, low key those butter snaps though that they make. Oh, shout out those Snyder butter snaps. Those are fantastic because like it's like I said, it's a low key butter, but like there's enough of that there that you know what I mean. It really brings life to it. I'm a huge supporter of that. But
And
yeah, dude, pretzel.
Chex Mix always slaps. Chex Mix always
Yo,
slaps.
it's
Chex
got to be
Mix always
cheddar
slaps.
though. It's got to be the cheddar Chex Mix though. That's where it's at for me.
All right, so let's go to the second part of this exercise. We talked about our favorite snacks. Let's comp them to our rookie wide receivers. So I'm going to pull out my my rankings here, and everybody knows who my wide receiver one is. But what are yours? Who are your top 6 guys?
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I think you got to start with Jamar Chase, the wide receiver out of LSU, and because if we're going to compare them to snacks, a snack we don't have up there that I feel like probably deserves to be up there is like and if I was to compare him to a snack, is the Doritos. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Very robust. Everybody loves it. You can't go wrong. It's a slam dunk anytime. If you're looking for a good snack, it's like, okay, off the top of your head, what's a good snack? Boom, Doritos. You know what I mean? It's one of the first things you think of. You're like, oh, who's a really good wide receiver? Ah, boom, Jamar Chase. It's easy. It's at the top of the mind. It's right there for you. So that's where I'm at.
Is that your way of saying that you don't think there's any generational wide receivers in this class?
I think there could be.
Okay.
Is
that guy Chase? Is that guy Chase? If there's a generational guy, is it Jamar Chase for you?
If there is going to be one, it probably would be him. I mean, a lot of stuff points to it. You know what I mean? But like, check him out on playerprofiler.com and tell me what you think. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. He's got it all.
You know what? And everybody's gonna, mock me because I'm not a huge Jamar Chase guy. I make no secret of it. I literally said it on a podcast an hour ago that he is my third wide receiver behind Devonta Smith and Rashad Bateman, which I almost got thrown off the show for. So, man? I mean, the thing with Jamar Chase is that I think he's raw, and I think he's going to take some more time to develop. Sure, he's got, huge upside, but, I'd worry about some of his habits, his on-field pre-snap habits, what he does after he doesn't get the ball. He's the best guy in this draft after the catch. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's dangerous. He's burning the field. But he's not, he can be game-breaking, but he's not all there just yet, which is why I'm going to compare him to our aforementioned goldfish. And the goldfish, for me, are not, they're great. They can be really good. They got a bunch of great flavors there of goldfish. You got a bunch of great types. But with goldfish, it's like you said, they're either it or they're not it. So they can be great for you at times, but there's other times that you kind of worry about them. So I'm going to go with Jamar Chase to goldfish here because I don't think he's quite there yet. And he can assess if he gets to where he's supposed to be and what everybody said about him, he's up there in the S tier. He's a Cheez-It. He is a potential Cheez-It. He is a potential sour cream and salt and vinegar Lay's chip. He is a potential barbecue chip, but he's got to get there first.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. And plus we haven't seen him play in over a year.
Absolutely.
There's a little bit. There's reason for skepticism. I understand, and like I think that's kind of why Because like your point about the goldfish and like my point about like the Doritos or whatever, it's just like, yeah, it comes quick to the top of the mind. But like even then, if that bag is stale, if it's been sitting around for a while, like yeah, the flavor is going to be okay, but it might not be what you might have expected out of it. So it's I don't
Correct.
know. There's I feel you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay, I like this. This is a very good exercise.
I like it. You like it. So we're gonna move on to what most people's second guy off the board at wide receiver is. My first, Devonta Smith. What is your take?
Well, if I'm going to comp him to a snack, I feel like the lazy thing to do is just compare him to a pretzel rod.
See, I knew that was kind of coming. We're gonna put them up there, just as a show, that I will respect Herms' opinion. BMI does not matter.
It doesn't at all. It really doesn't. And I remember I sent out that tweet or whatever. Like he and I are basically the exact same height and weight. What the hell does that matter? You know what I mean? And like, hey, just like with a pretzel rod, you know what I mean? Like everybody likes, the big pretzels and all that stuff. It's like, just because it's more compact doesn't mean it doesn't taste the same. All right, come on. Like get with the program here, people. You know what I mean? It's still a pretzel, goddammit. Like,
correct. So I'm gonna go with Devonta Smith, and I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. I'm gonna put him in the S tier because I think that's where he belongs. I think he's the gold standard in this class. But I'm gonna put him at the back end of the S tier. I'm gonna put him as a piece of Chex Mix because he's not there yet. He's very back end, but he is the most ready guy in this draft. Between him and Rashad Bateman, they have cornered the market on pro readiness. So everything you want in a wide receiver except the frame, Devonta Smith's got it. He's got the height. He's the best route runner in this draft. He is so quick and so sudden at the line of scrimmage, and when you get the ball, he is very crisp. He's got the best hands in this draft. So for me, it is every inkling that Devonta Smith will go to the next level and be an alpha guy. People are comping him to Marvin Harrison, the smaller weight, the similar stature. I see it. I think it's very unfair to comp someone to Marvin Harrison when you haven't even played a snap in the NFL yet. So I will not do that. But
I feel it.
I love Devonta Smith. I love everything about him. He is the best guy in this draft. So I'm going to put him right at that edge of elite status, and we're going to go from there and see what happens.
I dig it.
All right. Number 3, Jalen Waddle, the speedster. Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say Sour Patch Kids.
Okay. Why?
Because, he starts off the season, doing pretty well, and then he gets hurt, leaves a sour taste in your mouth. But, then, we end up seeing more out of because like once Jalen Waddle was out, I mean, that's when Devonta Smith really started to pop off or whatever. But then when you go back and look at, Jalen Waddle, it's just like it becomes sweeter. As time goes along, you're like, wait a minute. Okay, we didn't see a lot of that dude, but this guy's good. Oh, and hey, look at what he can do on the special teams too. It's just like, sometimes, him missing time last year, it could taste a little sour depending on who you are. But, the longer you sit on it, the longer you evaluate it, it becomes pretty sweet. I'm a really big fan of Jalen Waddle. I'd really like to see him. I mean, there's a decent chance he could go inside the top 15 and, be a impact dude relatively quickly, I mean, and he's fast as shit. I mean, wow. Like, dude, I'm here for it. There's a decent chance he might have been the best receiver on that Alabama team, and we just don't know it. There's a chance. I'm not saying it's definitely true, but it's possible.
Yeah, and I think I'm right there with you. I'm going to keep this comp because I'm actually in the same boat. I had no idea what to think of Jalen Waddle. The only thing I'm kind of certain of is that he's not Tyreek Hill. The one thing I'm pretty certain of is that he's not Henry Ruggs because he's a better route runner and he's more physical. Henry Ruggs was all speed. The guy couldn't run a route to save his life. So, that is not the case with Jalen Waddle. This, like you said, he could legitimately be the best wide receiver on that Alabama team if he had gotten the chance. He was putting up 125 yards a game.
100%, dude.
Henry Ruggs didn't even crack 750 yards in any of this season. So He's not Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs is gadget all the way. Jalen Waddle is a weapon. He is a weapon. I expect him to go early. I think he's right there. I'm going to put Jalen Waddle as a Sour Patch Kid because I like the comp that you gave, and I'm going to stick with that. The longer you sit on Jalen Waddle and the longer you watch his stuff, he grows on you.
Yeah, man, dude, these very clearly like non-linear comparisons. This is where I shine.
This is analysis. This is analysis. All right, let's move on. Number 4, Rashad Bateman. Very safe.
Oh man, it's a lot of things look really good, but I still have my reservations.
Mm-hmm.
There's a decent chance he could be a Cheez-It, but there's a decent chance he might just be a little lesser than. So that's why I'm going to comp him to Cheese Nips.
Ooh,
it's close.
Cheese Nips, they are there.
It's close. There. It tastes close. It almost seems right, but there are just a couple things that give me hesitation to the point where it's close, but it's not quite the same thing. He's not quite the slam dunk dude that some people think he is, in my opinion. And I'm really curious to hear about what you have to say, to be honest.
I'm gonna make Rashad Bateman is a very safe guy for me. He's my number 2 in this draft. I think he's probably tied with Devonta Smith. They're the most pro-ready guys in the draft. They have tons of production. Bateman had a stellar season in 2019 before the COVID. And it is very important to mention, the guy had COVID-19 last year. He said it took 10 pounds off his playing weight. He's never played like that before. It affected him a ton. So anybody who wants to use his last year as ammo against him, look to the year before. Tanner Morgan is ass. He is not good at throwing the football. He overthrows him regularly. And Tyler Johnson and Rashad Bateman made him look like stars. Rashad Bateman was better than Tyler Johnson last year. Tyler Johnson, of course, was a 5th-round pick. Went to the Buccaneers. Won a Super Bowl ring in his first year. Awesome for him. Love that. But Rashad Bateman can do just about anything, And obviously, he's not as tall and not as big as he was listed. He's not 6'2", 210. He's 6'0", 190. But you know what? That just makes me want to comp him to Stephon Diggs and guys like that more. So I'm gonna go with Stephon Diggs, and I'm gonna make him a Cheeto. I think Stephon Diggs is up there in that very good tier. Perhaps not the S tier, but it's right there. He is so good, and he is so talented, and he can catch any single ball that comes his way. He is very safe, and I will eat Cheetos at any time. So I will also play Rashad Bateman at any time.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you, dude. You got me sold.
Okay. All right, let's move right on. Now we exit the short things, and now we kind of go into rankings a little bit more. My fifth guy is Terrace Marshall. What about you?
The more I keep sitting on it, the more I'm really digging the whole Elijah Moore thing.
And he's there, man. He's so good. He's gonna be filthy if he lands in the right spot. Where do you think he lands, though?
So I did a mock recently with my buddy Jesse over with the Bacon Games Fantasy Sports Network, also my co-host of Show with No Name over on The Lateral. We typically do that on Sundays. And I had him I picked for the Saints in that mock that we did. And, some of the guys that I probably would have taken, I could see them addressing the secondary, maybe, pick up a linebacker or something. But a couple, people were off the board, and I was looking at it, and I was just like, imagine what Elijah Moore could do in that Sean Payton offense.
Yeah,
I really like it. I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I like it. There is a big chance that Elijah Moore goes to a team like Tennessee or Green Bay with Ryan Tannehill and Aaron Rodgers and is the starting slot guy immediately and completely balls out. If I remember correctly, JJ Zachariason from late round QB plugged him into his model going to Tennessee, and he immediately rose to the 98th percentile of wide receivers, and there were only 2 in existence that had ever succeeded that, and I can't think of them right now, but one of them was DK Metcalf, and it was very good. So the fit is just natural in an offense like that. So with Elijah Moore, who we'll go with for the purpose of this exercise at number 5, what do you think his comp can be here?
Okay, so we don't have the exact snack on the screen, okay. So we're just going to go with the Taki. Yeah, we're going to go with the Takis hot fries, but I'm looking at it more as like the Andy Caps hot fries.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, like when you're younger and your palate's not super refined or whatever, it might take you a while to, get, a little deeper into the snack world. But once you stumble across something and you're just like, wow, how did I not find out about this sooner? I mean, good Lord, these hot fries are delicious. And then, it's just one of those things you get, and you start telling everybody about it. It's just like, I will tell you what, I have no idea how, but my older brother's friend told me about this snack. And I mean, ever since then, I've been eating them, and they're fantastic. And then you start recommending it, starts to get a little buzz, starts to get a little steam, and then before you know it, everybody's eating the Andy Caps hot fries. So it's just like the buzz has gotten out of hand. Everybody's all on the hot fries now. Everybody's all on the Elijah Moore now, and it's just like, hey man, if you were on that train before, you could be like, oh yeah, I was telling everybody about the hot fries. It doesn't matter when you found out about the hot fries, as long as you're on board with it now. More power to you. That's kind of where I'm at with Elijah Moore. It's just like, doesn't matter when you found out, as long as you found out, as long as you heard the good word. This man's very good. I'm very, very interested to see what he could do, especially because, like you were talking about sooner. Sooner, earlier. Words are hard. Dude, if he went somewhere like Tennessee, woo, man, that would definitely ruin my optimism around Josh Reynolds. But that's a whole other thing that I don't really care nearly as much about. Dude, late first round capital. I mean, if you'd told me that, a month or 2 ago, I'd have been like, what are you talking about? But now it's like, oh, okay. I see you out here in these streets.
I'm going to go with the exact same argument as you, because it's literally picture perfect. You worded it correctly. You got everyone. There were groups of people that were on Elijah Moore for months and months and months. Nobody else bought it until recently. Remember, this is the same guy that played behind A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. Balled out as soon as they left. He single-handedly kept that, offense alive for the past couple of years. The quarterbacks there have not been good at Ole Miss, so obviously that is why A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf were second-round picks, because their quarterbacks were awful and did not throw them good passes. Same thing with Elijah Moore. Still balls out, still puts up over 1,000 yards, still does all that. So I did not try Funyuns until very recently, but I love them. So I will do the same thing with the Elijah Moore hype train and attach Elijah Moore to be a Funyun here.
There you go, dude. Same argument, different snack.
Same argument. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm here for it.
Same thing. So last guy I'm going to go for, because we want to get into our first round mock that will become our both official mocks here. Terrace Marshall. Let's finish it out. He's probably going to get drafted in the first round. The Ravens made that trade with the Chiefs to pick up an offensive lineman. They traded away 31 to the Ravens, who obviously now not only need an offensive lineman, they need a wide receiver, because Lamar Jackson has nobody else to throw to. So it's easy to see Terrace Marshall go into Baltimore at 27 or 31. But what kind of guy do you think Terrace Marshall is?
He's like a pack of fruit snacks for me. You know what I mean? Like, the packaging is there.
Wondering when we're going to see that comp.
Yeah, because the packaging is there. A lot of stuff makes sense on the surface, but I have a feeling we're not going to know until we open up the bag and take our first handful and throw them in the mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's because like I said, I mean, what he ran at his pro day, he's fast. He has the size. It's all there.
Does
100%.
he run that in the games? Yeah, I think that's what we're waiting to see.
Yeah, until we open up that pack and we get ourselves a little taste at the professional level, we're not going to know if these fruit snacks are any good. But like I said, the packaging looks fine. I'm here for it. I'm open to the possibility, but until it hits the tongue, I'm not gonna know. So I'm gonna wait and see mode.
Okay. I'm of the same mind. Those gummy, fruit snacks can come out. They can be fused together. They can be really good.
Yeah.
Maybe they're missing some of the the gooey inside that we all love about fruit snacks. Maybe we can go with that. And Terrace Marshall does have some injury issues, but I'm gonna go here with our first piece of chocolate, and we have not had chocolate yet, and it's a similar idea. But in the same way that, chocolate, sometimes you don't know if it's room temperature. What if it's partially melted? What if it's injured? What if it doesn't run the same way? What if it doesn't taste the same? So I'm going to go with the same idea, but a different snack. And I'm going to go with regular M&Ms if I can find them. And there they are.
There you go.
And so just to recap here, Herms put Jamar Chase as regular Doritos. Mm-hmm. I put him as a pack of goldfish.
Yeah.
I didn't see the hype yet. I put Devonta Smith as a pack of Chex Mix, and Herms rightly made him a pretzel rod. Jalen Waddle, Herms went with the Sour Patch because we actually both went with the Sour Patch because the more you suck on them, the easier they go down, the less the pucker is, the less you have that sour taste in your mouth. For who was next? Rashad Bateman, I went with Cheetos because he is very safe to me, and Herms went with Cheese Nips because it's not quite too cheesy yet, though he may be someday soon.
It's possible.
Elijah Moore, Herms went with the Takis because nobody's seen them yet. And for the same reason, I went with the Funyuns because I have also not tried Funyuns until recently because I have no culture and no taste. And then for Terrace Marshall, Herms went with a package of fruit snacks. We'll put the Welch's up there just because. And I went with the M&Ms because we both don't know what we're going to find. We're kind of in the dark. So we will see what happens when Terrace Marshall gets onto a football field. But we're on to our next topic, man. And this is going to be a little bit of a short one, but, I thought it would be cool to put this in there because who doesn't want to talk some hypothetical boxing matches between past, present, and future guys? And I only brought up a couple because, we're starting to, infringe on that time. But let's start at the lightweights. And, this is a nice one. Everyone knew I was going to put Devonta Smith into the lightweights category. But we haven't matched up against a scrappy guy and Chad Ochocinco, man. What do you think? Who wins in that kind of boxing match?
All right. Well, here's the thing. When you're playing, at the okay. So also keep in mind, my entire knowledge of combat sports is based around my enthusiasm of EA Sports Fight Night. So that's all I know about boxing. I know a little bit just from having played the game relentlessly for a couple of years there. Whenever I would create a fictional boxer that would be in the lightweight category, it's important to remember that moving your head and speed is what's going to win. You know what I mean? Like the best offense is a good defense. And I could definitely see Ochocinco being the type of puncher that could get erratic, especially if he gets down pretty early and he starts, taking some home run punches. I think Devonta Smith, he's a little more patient. I think that's something that he would have going for him. So and plus, with a nickname like the Slim Reaper, you're doing something right. So I could definitely see him being that dude that's going to, sit back, do all that, bob and weave a little bit, and make Ochocinco, beat himself, essentially. I think that's probably without, because there's nothing wrong with being overzealous in the boxing world, but you got to be sure not to make those mistakes and leave yourself open. I think Devonta Smith is the type of dude that has the patience to sit back and just be the Slim Reaper. Boom! Pop him with one. So that's where I'm at.
I like that. And, I'm not, going to go too much out of that because I also think that Devonta Smith would probably win that boxing fight because, he's got some serious reach. This is a 6'1" guy with the wingspan of a guy who's 6'6". That's some serious arms and some serious reach.
Yes,
And Ocho also had some nice reach, but not as long as that. And I really do think that, Devonta Smith would be able to outlast Ocho Cinco. I've met Ocho Cinco. I played FIFA with him. I lost to him, but then I watched my buddy beat him, and he was flailing. He was switching his if you ever played FIFA, you know how they have like ultra defense, and they have like regular, and then it's like ultra offense. He was switching back and forth all the way through between the paddles, just trying to get an edge on my buddy. And he was using Real Madrid, and one of the best teams in the game. My buddy was using Via Roma, which is one of his favorites, and he was smacking Chad. So Chad does get erratic. I will testify to that. But that's the lightweight class. Let's move on to the middle class. We got two titans here. We got Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, two of the best quarterbacks of the 20th or the 21st century. What do we got?
Oh God! Well, I can tell you what this one's going into. This one's going into some deep rounds. Because with Peyton, I mean, like, and no disrespect to Tom, but if I'm gonna give one guy the cerebral edge to really see everything in 4D, you know what I mean? That's gonna be Peyton Manning. I mean, like he can probably diagnose exactly what Tom Brady's gonna do, probably about 3 moves before he does it. I could definitely see that type of thing. But the one thing that Tom Brady has going for him is that clutch gene. And something like boxing, you know what I mean? You need the heart of a lion and the jaw of a animal with a really strong jaw. I don't even know. But, there's something about, it's hard for me. I think both of them, because the strengths that they have are not quite the same, but hold relative weight to one another. I think at the end of the day, God. If Brady's not on a good day, I got to hand it to Manning. But if Brady got all the training in and he's feeling his greatest and he's looking good and he's doing all that stuff and he's ready to go right there from Jump Street, then he's the hardest guy to beat in the world. So on his best day, Brady.
I picked this for a reason. There is a very specific reason I picked this, and it's because I watched Brady and Manning square off in a golf match last year. They played on opposite teams.
Okay.
Brady played with Phil Mickelson and Manning played with Tiger Woods.
Right. Yeah.
So there is, good chance that they could go into like a puncher's battle here. And you really could see this going late, like you said. And I would not be shocked at all if it was a split decision. It would not at all shock me. These are two guys that are big. They're both 6'5". Peyton's forehead might be a little bigger than Brady's head, but it's there. And with the equalness in their frames and figures, this is, it's whoever scores the knockout blow. It's whoever lasts the longest. So I'm going to go with Peyton here because I think he's a little bit, he's a little bit older. He's a little bit wiser. Maybe that gives him the edge there and lets him go to a victory.
Can't argue that. It's tough. It's a tough call. It really is. But I dig the logic.
All right. So we are going to go to our last boxing match here. We have the heavyweight battle. And I know we had two before. I took them out. I put this one in. This is a fun one. Derrick Henry versus Jerome Bettis. Now, I put Jerome Bettis in because you are, of course, a very big Steelers fan. You would know all about the bus. But how does he match up against today's big boy?
Oh, man. And you're gonna bait me into to the nostalgia pick. I know. Oh, cheat. Oh, Lord.
Nate went with Peyton there.
I feel like this is it's one of those things where this is one of the fascinating things about sports, especially. Like, oh, hi, unicorn. This is one of those very difficult things. Comparing across eras. You know what I mean? It's always very difficult to do so. Especially
very interesting there.
Yeah, I don't care what sport it is. It's always very hard to do. Although baseball kind of makes it easy because some of the statistics adjusted for all that stuff. Shout out sabermetrics. But oh man, Derrick Henry. But at the same time, but like Jerome Bettis could absorb. Oh my god, oh god, this is so impossible to pick. Oh gee. Plus, Jerome Bettis has a way cooler nickname because I don't even know what Derrick Henry's nickname is, but like the bus,
I don't know if Derrick Henry has a nickname, to be honest with you.
Yeah, see, and for boxing, it's very important to have a cool nickname. Purely anecdotal, but let's be real here. You know what I mean? You know what? Screw it. I'm going to hand it to the guy that has a nickname. Although, also shout out Mama Herms. For some reason, she is convinced that Jerome Bettis' nickname is the Meat Market, which never made sense to me.
Why?
I don't know where that came from, but yeah, shout out Jerome the Meat Market Bettis. That's my guy that I'm going with.
Okay. I'm also going to go with. How heavy was Jerome Bettis? Was he like 270? Or were they both in that 250 range? Because I know he was big, but I don't know how big like he maxed out at when he was
toward the end there. He was a big boy.
Let's see here if we can track down a weight. So we got NFL.com has him listed at 255. Pro Football Reference 252. He's big. He's a big boy.
That is,
so,
the meat market.
Yeah.
What can I say?
I mean, I can see some reason why that he would, be called the meat market. But I'm still gonna go with Jerome Bettis as well because the guy was so, he was that guy, and Derrick Henry is going to be the 21st century version of Jerome Bettis. There's no doubt in that. He's gonna be the guy, that people will remember when who was the big brawling back of our generation. It's gonna be Derrick Henry. There's nobody like him.
Yeah, and who's the guy that did it longer than we thought he would because he's just different.
Exactly.
Derrick, yeah, so, yeah, dude. The longevity, I could definitely see it. No, oh my god. Dude, and I know a lot of people are really nervous about what's going to happen with Derrick Henry, this upcoming season. It's just like, the regression. Like, okay, yes, the regression is going to come. There's no way he's going to rush for 2,000 yards again. I actually heard a really fun stat. I think the most that a player ever ran for after a 2,000-yard season was around 1,400. But even then, like, if there was somebody, now I still think we could probably expect, yardage to be similar to that, but like he could easily outweigh some of that drop in the yardage production with just keeping it up in the touchdown department. Because like, as far as I know, the Titans aren't going to change up that much now that Arthur Smith is gone.
Right.
The recipe is there. The recipe works. You know what I mean? If if soup tastes good, you don't change the recipe.
Correct.
So like, come on, I'm still riding with Derrick Henry just in general. In this fight, I'm rolling with Jerome Bettis. But in general, in current times, I'm still rolling with Derrick Henry. I think the dude's good. I'll
roll with Henry for one more year. But I think Bettis would have more of a puncher's chance in this fight.
Oh, yeah.
I think he would be, more of a heavyweight guy. Though we did see that video of Derrick Henry working out with all the weights and the metal stuff and so much so frightening. So frightening.
Mind-blowing.
It is absolutely mind-blowing. But those are our boxing comps. That was our extremely fun portion of the show. Now on to the very boring part of where we talk NFL draft. Because, at some point we had to get nerdy and talk about the draft. 1 round mock coming up for you. But before we go there, who the hell is San Francisco going to draft at 3?
I don't know, but it won't be Mac Jones.
Okay. But you don't have an opinion on who else it would be?
It's either going to be Fields or Lance.
You have a preference?
I would take Fields. I expect it to be Lance.
Okay. I'm going to go along with you. I also would take Fields there. I do not think it'll be Mac Jones. I personally think the whole idea here was not that Kyle Shanahan was trying to be the smartest guy in the room, a la my own Howie Roseman, but he wanted to preserve either Justin Fields or Trey Lance. They would still be there, and that the Jets would not have a weird Jets-like change of heart and pivot away from Zach Wilson, which albeit in itself is a very Jets thing to do because I think he's not the second best quarterback in the draft. I would still say it is Justin Fields, but you are going with Trey Lance. So we are going to go back and forth on this mock, and I have shared the screen, and I am on the Draft Network's site. For the sake of this, we are going to go as if there are no trades in this mock.
All right.
Because, I think it's better to go that way. Obviously, there's going to be at least like 3 or 4 trades in the actual draft. But for the sake of sakes, let us go with this. I'm going to start this off. Nobody is going here other than Trevor Lawrence, right?
Unless whoever's in charge of that decision has an aneurysm, I feel pretty comfortable.
Okay. All right. So we are going with Trevor Lawrence there. The Jets. Who are you picking for the Jets?
Well, they're gonna do it anyway. So Zach Wilson at a BYU, I guess.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it, but that's what they're going to do.
I would not do it either. If this was me, I'm picking Justin Fields.
Same.
Best player there. 4. What are we doing? What do the Falcons do? Do they go smart? Do they trade down? Do they take a quarterback?
All right. Well, there are 3 realistic outcomes. I think the most what I would do, I would trade. What I think they're most likely to do, I could see them, taking. I could see them taking Kyle Pitts. But if they are going to stay there, if they are going to sit somebody behind Matt Ryan for a little while, who better to do that with than Trey Lance? Only I think it was 17 games started in college. You know what I mean? Still raw. Shout out, old dirty bastard, RIP. Oh, baby, I like it raw. If he has time to sit there, marinate for a little bit, I could definitely see. And, it's a great guy to learn behind, But also, I will say what would change my mind is if the rumors about them moving on from Julio Jones are true and they do want to save around, I think it was $15 million in the cap. That is when I could possibly see them just going full YOLO with Kyle Pitts. But assuming Julio remains, assuming they're just going to keep rolling with it, whatever, I'm sticking with Trey Lance. So that's me.
Okay. All right. At 5, my heart says Chase. My head says Sewell. My chaotic brain says Kyle. My chaotic brain says Kyle Pitts.
It's up to you, buddy.
It's whether I think the Bengals will listen to Joe Burrow, who is banging the table for Jamar Chase, or whether they listen to reason and go Penei Sewell. Then the reason that this isn't an automatic dunk on Sewell is because more often than not, the Bengals just don't do the right thing. And while the right thing is to do here is to draft Sewell, I believe they're going to listen to their franchise quarterback and they're going to go with Jamar Chase because maybe they have some sick fantasy of seeing Joe Burrow in a full body cast.
100%. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Joe Burrow himself just has a death wish. I don't know. It's possible. So,
it is possible. It is possible. Yeah. Number 6.
Oh, geez. What really what really did this for me today with the deal that the Dolphins made with the Washington football team, sending over Eric Flowers. I think they addressed offensive line a lot last year. They still have a lot of young dudes that, showed some promise, but, I think they would stand to benefit to continue to address the offensive line here. And the fact that the Bengals didn't go with Penei Sewell, it's pretty hard to pass up. Give me Penei Sewell going to, because the Dolphins have plenty of opportunities to address some playmakers later on. It's a relatively deep class, especially for pass catchers. I know a lot of people have them, it's either Chase or Pitts. But, hey, with some moves that we saw today, and, if Penei Sewell doesn't go number 5, it's pretty hard to justify not taking him. So, yeah.
In my eyes, it's pretty hard for me to understand how much of a swing there's been in the last 24 hours. everyone was dead set on Dolphins going pass catcher here for since they made the trade back up to 6 with the Eagles. So, it's always been either Pitts or Chase or Waddle or Devonta Smith. More likely Waddle in the last couple of weeks has sprung up there, but it's always been Pitts or Waddle. And I'm kind of shocked, at everyone flipping in the last 24 hours. But I agree with them shipping off Flowers. I think it would be dumb to pass up a generational guy in Penei Sewell here. At 7, I'm going to pick for the Lions here, and I really want to take Kyle Pitts here, but I'm not going to. And the reason I'm not going to is because I'm just going to believe that TJ Hawkinson, they're going to let him be TJ Hawkinson. They don't have any weapons on that team. They need an outside weapon. They need a guy who can really, stretch the field here. For them, that guy's going to be Devonta Smith. I'm going to go with him to the Lions at 7 there. They need some help. Their starting receivers are Tyrell Williams, Rashad Perriman, and Quintez Cephas, none of which are great options to have. So at 8, we got the Carolina Panthers on the board.
So, all right, there's 2 things. There's what I think they will do and what I will do for them instead. What I think they will do is take Rashawn Slater. What I will do for them instead is take Kyle Pitts, because at this point he's fallen so far. I mean, why the hell not? I mean, come on. Now it's fine. You catch up. I'll keep talking about it. It's one of those things where, yes, it's very important. They made the investment recently in Sam Darnold. They're picking up this year and next year. They're kind of locked in for that. So everything that we were saying earlier on in this draft process about maybe they could take a Mac Jones there. Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. It's that kind of went out the window. They have a quarterback. They addressed that. Now, if Justin Fields were to fall for any sort of reason, then I think there could be an argument to be made that, I don't know, but that would also be kind of strange. So who knows? At that point, you have to decide, are we going to protect Sam Darnold a little bit more, or are we going to give him another weapon to work with? So, Curtis Samuel exits. He comes to my neck of the woods in D.C. Okay, well, that leaves you with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. That's still pretty good. And also, friendly reminder to people, they acquired former Seattle Seahawks wide receiver David Moore. That could be a sneaky thing for you fantasy players out there. But honestly, Kyle Pitts falling that far, it's hard to pass that up. It's really, really hard to pass that up. So I think, especially, with Joe Brady and Matt Rule at the helm, you know what I mean? Just, because there's, I don't know. I see it. I'm here for it. If Kyle Pitts is still available, they're dumb to pass it up.
And I'm with that. Kyle Pitts, it really does seem like his floor is 8. So one thing I would really like to see here is if he does fall to 8, the Eagles calling up to the Panthers with some sort of Godfather offer that'll allow them to move up to 8 and take Kyle Pitts, because man, what a tandem that would be, having right. Dallas Goedert and Kyle Pitts right there. But for the sake of this, obviously no trades. So he goes to 8. Which is his floor. I don't think he's going any lower than this. I think 100%. A team would pass on conventional wisdom of taking a guy like Rashawn Slater there to take Kyle Pitts, who is literally viewed as a once in a generation type tight end. So I'm okay with that. At 9, the Broncos are on the board, and the Broncos really wanted a quarterback here. But I am not going to give them Matt McCorkle-Jones here. I'm not going to do that to the Broncos, personally, because I don't think there's any team in the top 10 that actually wanted Mac Jones from the start. I always thought Mac Jones was a smokescreen. This is smokescreen season. GMs do it all the time. We're well used to seeing it by now. So I'm going to go with Patrick Surtain here to the Broncos, because they're getting a little bit older at the cornerback position. They no longer have Chris Harris. They no longer have AJ Bouye. They're missing these guys, and they need someone back there. And that defense wasn't too great last year. So I'm going to give them a guy who is, consistently billed as the top corner in this draft. And I think he's going to slot right in there. He'll start from day one. He'll be their guy. He'll be that lockdown guy. So I'm going to go with Patrick Surtain there. On to 10, we have the evil empire of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, you just made my life a lot harder because, Pat Surtain going to the Cowboys, I mean, like that, it seems like a match made in heaven right there. But, oh, God, well, if he's off the board, then, it's time to, pull a Ross Geller and pivot. All right. Well, so, this is another opportunity where Rashawn Slater could make sense. We saw, yes, they have an outstanding offensive line, but they're getting a little older. They may want to beef that up. It's possible. I don't know. I'm open to that possibility if Slater is available for them at pick 10. However, everybody knows the defense is garbage, but in particular the secondary. So now it's really down to J.C. Horn and Caleb Farley. And I know a lot of people are really nervous about the injury history of Caleb Farley. And, I was really hoping that Patrick Surtain was going to be there. He's got the bloodline. He's got all that going for him. But he's not the only one. He's not the only one. J.C. Horn also has the bloodline. Also has that going for him. His father, former Saints wide receiver Joe Horn. You know what I mean? J.C. Horn, dude, that's a dude. I think that the Dallas Cowboys will be lucky to have him playing cornerback.
Okay. All right, J.C. Horn goes to the horseshoe. All right, I'm going to do something that I do not often do. I am going to make the pick for the New York Giants. It is not something that I envy myself doing at all, but I am much happier that I was not making the Cowboys pick at 10. I'm going to give credit to my girl, Steffi Smalls, and I seem to be doing this a lot because I was just on a mock draft, and of course, Steffi was there at 11 doing the Giants pick because she's always doing the Giants pick. That girl is literally everywhere.
100%.
I don't know if she ever sleeps. Maybe White Claws fuel her. But, I love Steffi. I love Steffi. She's
much love.
One of the best workers in this space that I've seen. She kills it. But
brilliant. Brilliant.
And she said something tonight that kind of stuck with me. And she said she's kind of coming around to, the fact that this pick is probably going to be a defensive guy. I was tempted to put Kwity Paye in here, who is being mocked this high for some reason that I haven't been able to comprehend yet. But hopefully in the next 2 days before the draft, I will start to comprehend. But I'm going to go with one of the easiest picks in the draft to make here for this team. It's a dream if he falls to them. I don't think he does in real life, but Rashawn Slater here is kind of a match made in heaven for the Giants. And I love Rashawn Slater. He can either be a guard, he can be a tackle. He can play any spot on the line. Northwestern used him as a tackle. He was very good, but he is a little bit shorter. But people think he has the build to be a tackle. So I'm going to go with that over the defensive choice that I would have taken, which would have been Micah Parsons. But if Rashawn Slater is there, I think the Giants take him. You're up with my birds.
All right. Well, I hope that you are comfortable putting this faith of yours in my hands. I will do the best to be right by your boys. I think it would be really, really fun to see Jalen to Jalen. I'm here for it. I think Jalen Waddle would be super fun for that offense. You know what I mean? And plus, they already got Jalen Rager. So, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen.
Jalen.
It's the law firms of Jalen,
exactly.
Jalen.
Yeah. See, I think that would be absolutely tremendous because I think, I don't know, honest to God, I think Michael Parsons would make a lot of sense. But I've been constantly reminded by Philadelphia Eagles fans, including yourself, linebackers. Never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And I'm okay, fine. I get it. Whatever.
Michael Parsons has character issues that are worse than a 5-year-old's. So
no judgment, no judgment from Herms. I'm a flawed individual myself, but I'm just saying, Jalen Waddle, that would be fun. I'm definitely here for it. And also, I swear to God, I hope it's not Mac Jones. They better not do. They can't do Hurts dirty. He showed enough. They should trust him. I'm not here for this QB in the first round nonsense.
If there's a QB that they take in the first round, it's if Zach Wilson falls, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. or it's if Justin Fields falls, and that would be very intriguing. I think more for them to trade down, but also possibly because again, Howie Roseman could possibly have an aneurysm and slide the card that says Mac Jones or Justin Fields on it. So my life would absolutely be ruined, and I would have to eat so much shit, and it would be very upsetting point in my life. But that would be that. All right, let's move this along here. We are at 13 now. So the Chargers, and here's where it starts to get a little bit dicey. The Chargers have a lot of needs. Offensive tackle is perennially one of them. Edge rusher is another one of them. They could even use a wide receiver if there was a good one here. But for the sake of it, I'm going to go with a guy who's really kind of raw, but is very good and could possibly step right in and be their guy immediately. But he is raw, so he may need some time. Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. I'm going to go with him. And Darrisaw is, they're hoping that Darrisaw will be the solve to their horrendous offensive line issues that have plagued them for years and has become synonymous with Chargers fans everywhere. So he is the pick at 13 for me, and we are on to 14, the Minnesota Vikings, Skull Vikings.
Yeah, I know, and the Vikings are probably a little upset here that Darrisaw didn't slip down, but hey, it is what it is, because I bet, the Chargers were probably hoping that Rashawn Slater was going to slip down, but, it's the snowball effect. We're starting to get to this range where a lot of teams are going to start to have really similar needs. And, people could criticize the move if they really wanted to. I guess there's some, slightly differing opinions on this pick that I'm about to make, but I think most people are in agreement here. At this point, Elijah Vera Tucker is somebody that the Vikings, they gotta do something on that line, and I trust the word of the Vikings fans that I have in my life. A lot of them are just like, you know what? We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to protect Kirk. We got to make sure that, all this stuff keeps rolling because, the offense is very promising and it has shown, it showed a lot of flashes last year, especially, with Justin Jefferson having his, breakout year, right away as a rookie. And also, like low key toward the end of the year, Irv Smith looking good. But hey, none of that matters if the quarterback's on his ass.
Right.
So protect Kirk, get Elijah Vera Tucker. Boom. I don't think
I like a lot. I like Tucker. And the underrated thing about Tucker that not many people are mentioning, excuse me, but he can step right in as a tackle. Honestly, he has the build that he could be a tackle if he wants to. It wouldn't shock me. I think he's better suited as a guard, but we shall see. At 15, he kind of fell right into their lap, didn't he?
You're going to do it? You're going to do it? Yeah, you're going to do it.
He really kind of fell right into their lap. And, as much as I think that if he gets there, it wouldn't shock me to see Bill trade out of this pick, maybe get a ransom from the Bears, or if Ron Rivera falls in love with them at 19. He's there. Pittsburgh is, another possible dark horse option to go for him, based on the fact that Mac, that Ben's on his last legs. But for the sake of this, I'm going to go with Mac Jones here. They need a quarterback. It's not Cam. And unless these rumors of Jimmy Garoppolo go in there, pan out, I can't see an issue where Bill doesn't walk away unless somehow 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10. Maybe you see Bill make a desperation move, but he doesn't make those desperation moves that much. So I'm going to say that they take Mac Jones here.
I'm here for it. On
the 16, Cardinals.
Oh, man. And I understand that people have the injury concerns about Caleb Farley. And I will say I was very impressed by the Cardinals secondary last year. They were a little better than I thought they would be. And, I feel like with the development of the defense, the way it's been going, they can afford to take a chance like that with a guy. Maybe we'll see how the health plays out. But, the man-to-man acumen, I think Caleb Farley would be an excellent fit for the Arizona Cardinals. They could go a couple different ways here. Michael Parsons was tempting. He was. But I think Caleb Farley would be an excellent pick.
As Michael Parsons continues to slide, that brings up an interesting thing. Does he slide really far because of these character concerns? Have you heard what the issues with Michael Parsons are? Do you know, like the backstory?
I have no clue.
He told some guy at Penn State that he was going to Sandusky him.
That's not cool. Okay.
And then he kind of did it. So there are legitimate concerns with Micah Parsons. It happened in 2018. It was 3 years ago. And Yetter Gross-Matos, who went to, I believe, the Panthers last year as well.
Uh-huh.
Remember, he had a first-round grade, kind of slipped to the second round.
Yeah.
He might have fallen for that reason. We don't know. It was never brought up. For what I know, it was not brought up last year. Nobody really knows why Gross-Matos fell, but Micah Parsons has some serious red flags in his character. He's continuing to tumble down the board for me, but the Raiders need offensive line help, and they need it now.
God. More
they
than
need
anything.
It now. So I'm gonna go on my board here, and I'm gonna take Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State, and he's a right tackle for them. He's gonna slot right in there. Trent Brown has had his issues. I don't even know if Trent Brown's with the team anymore. Was he part of the exodus they shipped off?
I think he went back to New England. So.
Yeah. So, he's gone. They have nobody. Hudson is gone. Yeah. Gabe Jackson is gone. Tevin Jenkins is a mauler. He's going to step right in at right tackle. He's going to have to, or maybe they can flip him over. He played at left tackle in college for Oklahoma State. Obviously he was there for Chuba Hubbard. He is good at run blocking. They need him to be good at run blocking so Josh Jacobs can run the damn ball, or Kenyon Drake, whoever John Gruden wants at this point. Nobody knows, and that is okay. But we are at 18. We have arrived at the second of the Dolphins' 2 first-round picks. What do we got?
Oh, man.
The following is intended only for mature audiences.
I think the best thing that could happen, Jalen Phillips, he doesn't even have to change zip codes. He doesn't have to change his zip code at all. I think, and they really do need to address edge. I think it makes a lot of sense for them to do so. It's kind of a boring pick, but, I will say I'm going to cede my explanation time to you here because I have a feeling that the guy we've been talking about the whole time might go off the board.
And I think with Jalen Phillips, he's my edge one in this draft. So I like him a lot. If he wasn't such a medical red flag, he would be like off the board in the top 10. He is that good. He is, he is in a weak edge rusher class. He's the guy. He's better than his teammate Rousseau. He's better than Kwity Paye. He's better than all of those guys. So Jalen Phillips falling here is very good for Miami, who, obviously, they spent all this money on these guys like Kyle Van Noy and a couple other guys who are no longer with the team. So you got to replace that somehow, and you got to build this defense. And that's what Brian Flores wants to do. He's going to build the defense. Absolutely. So it's a little bit surprising to see the Dolphins come out of this first round without a wide receiver to complement Tua. They come out with Penei Sewell and Jalen Phillips, but I assume that they are going to target help very early on in the second round.
That's kind of where I'm at with it, to be honest. You know what I mean? Especially because, if the board falls the way that it does in this, I think it behooves them to go in this direction. Especially because we all like a lot of the receivers that are in this class for sure. They could still plug those holes if they felt compelled.
All right, so at 19, it's very interesting at 19. So. And I was just scrolling down what OTs were left. Trent Williams is obviously gone. He's got a long-term deal in San Fran. They need a left tackle very badly. They could also use a guard. Brandon Sheriff is probably going to leave after the franchise tag next year. But they need a linebacker really bad.
Damn right we do.
And they do, but this may not be the guy that you think it is. I'm going to take who I like at linebacker and who doesn't have a lot of character concerns. I'm going to take
I know where you're going.
Owosu Koromoa out of Notre Dame, and he is the do-everything linebacker out of Notre Dame. Guy lines up all over the field. He's a very hybrid machine. Ron Rivera knows the type of guys that he wants on his defense. This is the kind of guy. He's more fluid than Landon Collins. but he can move all over just the same way. He'll play in coverage. He'll do everything off ball for you. He's like a Darius Leonard. He's that good.
Yep, 100%, dude. I absolutely adore this pick. As far as living in the area, I am primarily a Steelers fan, but my NFC team of choice, as you know, as some out there know, I am a fan of the football team as well. I would love to see Owusu Koromoa come to town. That would be wonderful.
What is your preferred name for the Washington football team?
Anything that's not racist.
Okay. I like that. That's a very good answer. Very good answer.
Yeah, no.
Leaves you no chance to screw it up.
Exactly. They could call themselves the Washington garlic bread for all I care. I don't know. Just like
What's the name that Robbie came up with? I remember him putting out the image on Twitter. I just can't remember. Was it Red Wolves?
Red Wolves is dude, there are a lot of really cool designs out there for that. I think Red Wolves would be super sick. I also think sticking with, some of like the historical, like if we're going to pay homage to the past or whatever, like, the Hogs or like the Wild Hogs or something,
Right.
pay homage to the, the offensive line that carried him for those Super Bowls back in the day. That'd be kind of neat. Just something like that. As long as it's not racist, I couldn't care less. That's
all right. Let's go to the Factory of Sadness here, and I am sure that our boss at 14P, Justin, is not in this chat. But if he was, who would you pick for the Bears?
Oh, Kadarius Toney, 100%.
Okay, I like it. Very quick.
I'm doing it.
That is a very Chicago Bears pick.
It is. It really is. I don't think it's the best.
Why go for the safest guy in the draft and Rashad Bateman when you could have Kadarius Toney?
Yeah, man. Because again, I did this in a mock draft show that I did recently. It's just like if you're asking me to pick on behalf of the Bears and put myself in the mindset of the Bears, it's definitely Kadarius Toney. You know what I mean? He gets flamed a lot. I think he's a pretty good player. I think some of the criticism, it goes a little too far at times, but that's also not me saying that I think this is a good idea by any means. So, like, hey, you know what? Shout out Darius Toney. If you're watching, best of luck to you.
I like and I'm a Kadarius Toney fan. Obviously, I am a big Gators fan.
Good. He's good.
And I like Kadarius Toney, but I also think Kadarius Toney will be available into the second round. So I would not go Kadarius Toney if you're the Bears.
Neither would I.
It's a very Bears. It's a very Bearsian pick. I know you had that interest at heart. Making this as realistic as possible. So we are going to go to 21 here with the Colts. And the Colts need a tackle as well. Anthony Costanzo retired. But there are no good offensive tackles there right now that I want to take. That would not be a reach. So with no good wide receivers and, the cornerbacks are more shifting towards, that late first, early second grade right now. I'm going to go with an edge rusher, and I'm going to go with the guy that everyone's talking about for some odd reason, again, because it makes no sense. I'm going to go with Kwity Paye here out of Michigan. And this guy is exactly like Rashawn Gary a few years ago, and he's exactly like Brandon Graham was 9 years ago. They're extremely athletic guys who don't have any production. In Kwity Paye's case, you have 11.5 sacks in 4 years. Yikes. Elite athletic tools, but athletic tools don't always pan out. That production can be a concern. So, especially, in Michigan, you still play defense in when you're Michigan. So you have to kind of be known for your defense there. Their offense was so bad that you kind of have to focus on the defense. So, but I'm going to stop Kwity Paye's, we're going to stop talking about Kwity Paye there because, nobody needs to talk about Kwity Paye except where he's going to go. Because he's either going to be really good or he's not going to pan out. So, we'll see what happens. But this is a Colts pick. They like that type of guy there. They're an analytics-driven team. This is the type of guy that makes a lot of sense there. 22, Titans. Let's hear it.
Before I say anything about the Titans, I will say I was watching NFL Network earlier. Kwity Paye's backstory, absolutely incredible.
Oh, very, very great backstory.
I'm rooting I'm fucking rooting so hard for this dude. Holy shit! Like
I would highly recommend going to watch that if you guys haven't already.
Yes.
It's a very inspiring story about how his family fought to get out of Liberia. I believe he lost his uncle or his grandfather for it, and he was named after his grandfather. It is a very heartwarming story. It's a very good story, but we shall see what happens with Kwity Paye. But he should definitely be a first rounder, and great story making it to the league like this.
Of course, just always, because like whatever questions you have, totally fair. But like, I'm always a big fan of a good, inspiring story. Just wanted to throw that out there. Now, as far as the Titans go, you sold me on the Elijah Moore thing. I'm rolling with it, dude. Because I think a corner would make sense, but like, oh man, I'm here for this. Wide receiver, like that's the other possibility. They're going to need to address that, especially with Jonnu Smith gone, especially with Corey Davis now, on the Jets, no longer with the team. Oh, what do you know? The Jets coming up now. Yeah, there you go. There's the pick. Ooh, segue.
Yeah, Elijah Moore fits right in there. He really can be good, and it would shock me not to see him put up numbers immediately as their starting slot, and a lot of them. AJ Brown can't get all the targets, and it's not like there's anybody else there right now, which definitely means that they're probably going to add at least 2 wide receivers in this draft. I'm not sure the picks they have later on, but it would not shock me to see them double dip quickly. So he went at 22. At 23, we took care of the quarterback need for the Jets to start with, but they still need some help. And they could always improve that defense of theirs. So I'm going to go with Azeez Ojulari here. And the best thing about Ojulari is that Robert Saleh, who came over from San Fran, obviously to coach, is going to run that kind of defense that Georgia ran, the 3-4, and is going to allow Ojulari to function as a linebacker who rushes the passer, in that 3-4 OLB type of role. So that's going to work really well there. I think it's a honestly like handshake match of a pick there. I've heard it that they like him, and he could end up being one of the best. He could end up being the best edge rusher in this draft, and wouldn't shock me a lot. We're on a 24. It is your team. I did this especially so that we would end up with you picking for your Steelers. And I know who you want to pick. So
all right. So, the offensive line is a major issue that really needs to be addressed. With Bud Dupree now moving on to Tennessee, they're going to have to address the linebacker spot. It's, they got a lot of problems, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
You can't help yourself, can you?
I can't do it. I'm not even going to say it. You already know. Just put it in there. Just do it.
The pick is Najee Harris.
Yep.
And I not only is Herms a huge Najee Harris, a Pittsburgh fan, I myself, having written in my most recent article that I did for 14 Personnel about best landing spots for potential rookies right out of the gate, Najee Harris, if he lands in Pittsburgh, he's the guy. All those other fringe guys, Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland, Jalen Samuels, they all float away.
Kalen Ballage.
They all float away like Ben Roethlisberger's arm strength. So, Najee Harris doesn't solve a lot of problems there. He solves a problem. They still have a big offensive line need.
It's horrible, but the quote unquote analyst in me definitely wouldn't do that. The fan in me, 100% Najee Harris, baby. I don't give a shit.
This is a fan mock, so we're gonna stick there. 25, Jacksonville. Jacksonville needed some help a lot at quarterback. We obviously fixed that with Trevor Lawrence. Where they also need help, though? They need at safety. They need to fix their defense. Their defense is another one that is very bad. And
it's getting better, but they could definitely continue to address it for sure.
So I'm going to go with my top-ranked safety here in Trevon Moehrig out of TCU. And he's just a grinder, man. The guy's very good. And he's going to make plays. TCU does good with their DBs. They're very good with them. And obviously that's not to excuse the heinous actions of what is his name that was drafted third. And shout out to Jordan. But who I can't remember, but he was the DB that TCU that went like 30th last year. I forget his name.
At this hour, yeah, that's not picking up on the brain.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about though.
Well, it'll come to us. Yeah. And Jordan, we are as surprised as you are that Micah Parsons is still on the board, but the character issues,
I don't know, man.
We came with it a couple times, but I could see him falling. There's some real character issues, Jordan. There's some real character issues there. So we are at 26 now, the Browns. What do we like for the Browns here?
Oh, dear God. Well, wait a minute. I just had a really good idea. You know what I think would be super tight? I understand, like bringing in Clowney, like whatever, like short-term fix. But you know what I mean? If we're trying to go long-term, Gregory Rousseau, dude. Send him on over to Cleveland. You know what? I'm here for it.
I like that.
They can use it.
Cleveland's a spot to go edge all day. And there's a couple guys there. They could have gone with someone like Jason Owe, from Penn State, guy who ran like an uber athletic 40 at his pro day. They can go, options there. They can go IDL with Christian Barmore, but they need that's actually sick. Jordan coached Rousseau with the Creek Eagles, and I gotta assume that's his home football team. Jordan actually lives like 20 minutes away from me, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like he's so close to me.
Like
Jordan and I need to meet up for drinks at some point. 100%. I need to pick his brain for his DFS knowledge because the kid's a genius.
Let me know and I'll fly on down. It'll be a good time.
All right, sounds good. I'll buy.
Hell yeah. We'll
go to one of our casinos that are right near there. We'll have some drinks and we'll gamble a little bit. It'll be fun.
Fantastic.
All right. So Rousseau goes at 26, and his slide stops there. We go to 27, and it is the first of the Ravens picks. Oh, Creek Eagles is Pop Warner. Got it. All right.
Yes, sir.
So Ravens got a couple needs here. They first need an offensive tackle. They need a wide receiver.
Oh boy,
they need an edge guy. They low-key need an edge guy. I don't know if I'm ready to put them with an edge guy here, even though they like it. I'm kind of gonna go with the sexy pick here for them. I'm gonna go Terrace Marshall here, the guy who's starting to get mocked to them a lot. Gives Lamar Jackson that big boy receiver, and they really dove hard after Kenny Golladay. Obviously, no one was going to match that 4-year, $72 million deal. I believe they wanted him on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, and they also went after my boy Juju as well. So
they wanted Juju. So they want a receiver, and they want someone that can be that guy. So I'm going to pick Terrace Marshall to be that guy, and we're going to go there. All right, we go to 28. We got the Saints here. Saints are on the board.
Oh, geez. It's public record. I fell out of favor with the Washington football team for a few years there for numerous reasons, obviously. In that time, I was always a supporter of the New Orleans Saints. I was a big fan of Reggie Bush as a kid. Alvin Kamara is my current favorite player. I also have a Drew Brees jersey as well. You know what I mean? Like the Saints are my boo thing. You know what I mean? I've always had a soft spot for the New Orleans Saints. So I'm also glad to have this pick as well. I'm a supporter of that franchise. I really hope they do well. I would like to see Jameis Winston get the shot at quarterback. But all of that being said, not super relevant to what's going on right now. Oh, Lord. The last mock that I did, I had them taking Elijah Moore. And we talked about it earlier, so I'm not going to dive, too deep into that. But I really, really like the value of Greg Newsome here. So,
okay.
Lock Greg Newsome in, baby. You know what I mean? I'm tempted. Like, Zaven Collins was tempting. He was tempting there. I think it would have been pretty solid. But Greg Newsome, I want that. I want that, because like I said, they're low key. Those are still my boys. I have come around. I have readopted the football team, but I can't let go of my boo thing. You know, I want the Saints to do well. I want them to do well. So,
is there really a chance that Micah Parsons falls out of the first round, or are we just kind of like subtly pushing him out of the board?
This is 100% us, and I don't even. Yeah,
You think someone takes the chance on Parsons? He's that talented. That's for sure. He's a top 5 talent.
I guarantee you,
character concerns.
Yeah,
so gruesome.
If he slips, he's going to the football team.
Okay, at 19.
I can tell you that.
Okay.
1,000%. I mean, as much as I like, so
I think you're right.
Koromoa is a great pick. That's who I think they will take, assuming Parsons does go. But if for any reason Parsons falls, words are hard. The football team,
I got you.
100%. Like he would be the missing link to that defense right now. I mean, like straight up. So yes, it's a little bit us, but also could be valid. So hey man, I don't know. Just yeah.
I'm gonna do the Green Bay fan base a solid here.
There you go.
I'm gonna give them the gift that they deserve. We're gonna go Rashad Bateman here. We're gonna put one of my favorite guys in the draft with Aaron Rodgers in the twilight years of his career, and we are gonna really, really make the Packers a dangerous offensive team next year. You guys have all heard how much I love Rashad Bateman, so I will not speak too much on it. Just know that if he goes here, shit's getting real.
100%, dude. 100%.
Number 30.
Okay, so I told this story before. So my home dynasty league, I started it. It was born out of an ESPN mock draft chat room. That's literally I met a couple dudes. We were talking about it. It was awesome, and I was like, "Hey, here's my Instagram. Let's start a league together." Boom. It's super fun now. I made super great friends out of it, and they're all from the Buffalo area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So half the league's from Buffalo. We're always talking about it's just like, hey, what are your boys going to do? Hey, what are your boys going to do? Blah, blah. So, I've heard a lot of feedback from the Bills Mafia, and, they really want to beef up that defense, because there's some smoke around the idea that they address the running back position. I don't think that's going to happen. I have heard personally that edge is big for them. That's something that they really want to attack. I'll give them Owe out of Penn State. I think that would be really good for them. I was tempted to go with the tackle out of Alabama because some of them are kind of nervous about that.
Defensive tackle. Okay.
Yeah, because some of them are a little nervous. Okay, again, I can't speak for Bills Mafia. I'm hearing this through the grapevine. Some of them are a little nervous about Ed Oliver. Maybe they could double down and do that, but like edge seems to be the thing. Owe and so I heard an interview that Jason Owe did because I have satellite radio now. That's super fun. On NFL radio, he was on with like Moving the Chains with Pat Kerwin and Jim Campbell, I think is his last name. Whatever. I heard him talk to them. It seems like a really cool dude, and also like high school tight end, doing like all that stuff. So, I mean, like he clearly has that athleticism to just like burst off the line and do all that shit.
Yeah, he had a solid, tremendous pro day as well, around like a 4.35. Guy is,
yeah, man.
Guy's a stud.
I'm here for it.
All right, perfect. So the second of Baltimore's 2 first-round picks at 31, I am going to have them address their tackle situation. We've been passing on a tackle for literally like 25 minutes now. I am going to select Eichenberg out of Notre Dame here. I
love it.
I'm a big Eichenberg guy. Right near the end there, it's a perfect spot for him. He's going to go there, and he's going to step right into the spot that Orlando Brown vacated. He will hopefully not speak up in 2 years and say, I want to be a left tackle instead of right tackle because Ronnie Stanley will still be there. Yeah. He's there now. He's not going anywhere soon. So
he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I'm a big Ronnie Stanley guy. He's pretty good.
Big fan. Yeah.
Wrap us up, man. 32.
Oh,
Super Bowl champs.
See, this is the hardest pick to make because it's just like
no pick can be wrong. No pick can be wrong.
You know what? Give him Micah Parsons. Why not? Just do it. You know what?
Do they even need a linebacker?
Sure.
No,
they don't. No, they don't. This is actually a pretty irresponsible pick, but I just kind of feel bad. So, like, I'm just doing it. Like, because, like, honestly, at this point, because, like, think about it. You know what I mean? It's an embarrassment of riches at that point. You know what I mean? Because, like, Brady was already putting together, he was already putting together the Monstars. He's already doing it Space Jam style. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Micah Parsons slipping that far, even with the character things, is just ridiculous. So, I have no doubt that he's,
sure.
if he lasts that far, they'd be lucky to have him, even with all the riches they have, Levante David, and again, I can't remember names tonight. It's just not working for me.
Shit happens, but hey, either way,
Devin
White.
Yes, Devin White. Again, names are hard. It
is what it is, man. Words, names, places, things. It's all hard. It's all very difficult.
But guys, thank you so much, Herms. Tell us where we can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Herms NFL. You can find my work with 14 Personnel on the YouTube channel in Herms Terms. It's a super cool show that I do. Probably going to be taking a little bit of a break, from it for a little while, at least temporarily, but it's not going away forever. Check that shit out. There's tons of past episodes on this YouTube channel. Check it out. I'm also the co-founder and chief editor of The Lateral. You can find that at The Lateral FF on Twitter and www.thelateralff.com. I do a podcast. I write articles sometimes. I do a bunch of different stuff. It's super fun. Always fun. And also, I roll with the Rum Boys, the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. That's what I do. If you don't know, then what can I tell you? You know what I mean?
You can find us both in their draft shows this weekend. Will we see you? We're going to see you on the draft shows? Possibly.
I can neither confirm nor deny. You'll have to check it out on Friday night. Maybe I'll be there, maybe I won't. I don't know.
Absolutely. Guys, this was great. Thank you, Herms. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the show. We are out.